sure it is to the latest brand, and obviously you have to catch up the thing of read and write speed. Okay, that's what matter in the storage devices. If it's SSD, if it is your normal hard drive, if it is your flash USB flash drive. So all of them, the game is only with read and write. Okay, always look for the read and write speed. The more speed you have, the more faster will it go, and will save a lot of your good time. Okay, so that's one thing for sure. So let's just jump out to our today's content, and we'll be having some I can say we'll be having some social media content. Obviously, we're also having some radio for Kahoot from our last lectures today. So, Mr. Akin, can you just please have a quick recap of that Kahoot we did in our last class?
Sure. And I can share my screen to quickly do a quick Kahoot to refresh us. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. Let me quickly share the screen. And what we like to do is just
these are actually one of the key drivers that actually pull you out from these bookish stuff to the information, like practical information. So please do take a keen part. This is just to revise and refresh your knowledge and to get that deep into your mind, and you can have that for your whole life. So this is one thing for sure. We're having a lot of dedicated people. So that's one thing for sure. Please do take a keen interest and make sure your teams top up the list. So that's one thing also to be added to this note.
All right. So I'm sharing my screen now, and I'll tell you all in a second the Kahoot pin. All right. So the pin is 450746. 450746, and I copied it to the chat box also. So let's join real quick. It's going to be the same one we did yesterday, just to recap and give us a fresh, keep us fresh a little bit. Thank you all. And for those of us that have never used Kahoot before, it's pretty easy. Just go to kahoot.it. Kahoot.it, and you can just join us to. Let's give everybody else another 20 seconds real quick, please. Let's join the Kahoot. And please, one of the things that is important is we designed this program with you in mind. So this exercise is just to give you a little way to think a little bit more about what we've learned so far. And it's not zero pressure, okay? It will just help you to gauge your understanding. You can figure out area you need to work on. That's the intent of it. So no big deal at all, okay? We're not going to tell your kids that you flunked it, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's one thing that we have to keep the privacies, okay? So we will never ever share these results on the front of your home or your office. So don't worry about it, okay? So you just try over here and it's lost. Simple as that, okay? You don't have to show all of the community that, hey, just Steven has just gotten like a 5 out of 10. It's not like he didn't even get like 50% of the marks. We'll never do that, okay? Don't worry about it. Just throw your ideas and get into
since we said that, now people are now using just their initial A, DJ, JK.
Yeah, that's also a good thing. That's
somebody's using their phone, their number. Don't worry, guys, we got you. We're just messing.
So they also like the best thing is they're also following our rules, the cybersecurity rules, never expose your full name and all the stuff. So that's a great thing. Thank you so much for following that. So they are getting and catching things. That's a great thing for us. So okay.
All right, let me get it started too. So you guys can run your show. We're just recapping what we did. So you just feel free, go ahead and all right. And I'll just be piloting. Over to you.
Okay, so we had a data corruption can lead to the missing files, scrambled documents, and program crashes. Simple, it's just like a piece of cake. True or false? When your data in your USB drive is corrupted, can you access your missing file? Can you access can it like scramble your documents? Can it like crashes your program? That's one of a good example. So I think I've just popped you like more than 90% of the question. You just have to press true and false.
Excellent. Great. Great.
Okay, that's a good response. This was actually what. Okay, so
So
still that's okay. Team Tiger
Team
is just
Tiger
on the
is
top. They are super fresh
mm,
in this early session. That's a great thing. The power on self-test, remember, power on self-test, we call it post, okay, is performed after the operating system has loaded. We have covered also this one. So do you know what the very last thing we just did? The power on self-test is performed after the operating system is loaded. Is it correct or is it false? So we just have to press the correct answer. We are still going to go for 50s, okay? We have 51 answer. Oh, you have to be on the correct side. This is the true side. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. We're still going to catch other questions also. So beep codes, remember, we had lights and beep codes during the computer startup can help identify hardware issues. I'll just keep quiet so you can just think on it.
excellent.
Great. Thank you so much for the kin. That's okay. So this is what actually we have. The NTFS is a file system that allows control over user and group files. So I'll just speak a little slower. Maybe a lot of people maybe complain, yeah, do you know, you're just speaking and we cannot concentrate on the question. So let me just keep it quiet. Okay. NTFS is a file system that allows users over the user control and group file access. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, uh-huh. Super, super great. As a command line interface, CLI primarily serves the need of non-technical users. CLI, command prompt, we call it CMD at the startup. If someone knows, that's great. If someone doesn't, you can have that on your left bottom corner of your screen. Just type CMD, okay? And just have that command line interface. Okay, that's perfect. That's okay. Okay, okay. Super close. We only have two remaining. Solid state drive, generally faster and more durable than hard drives, HDDs. Super simple, remember? SSDs are more reliable than HDDs. The HDDs are the older one, SSDs are the latest one. So I think you can now guess, you can have a very good guess now. Great, 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 great. Oh, thank you so much. That's a good thing that I was just expecting you people. Thank you so much. So we have number 7 that goes to defragmentation is a process of dividing a single physical disk into multiple logical drives. Was it the defragmentation? Remember, we just had those, I can say, segregated data. We have to centralize the data into one file so we can save the memories and all the stuff. You can have an idea of defragmentation, process of dividing a single physical disk into multiple. That's okay if you just don't want even to. That's okay. That's totally fine. No human is
And the final
perfect.
one, I'll skip this because I think well, we
Yeah,
can just do it if you want to just do it for fun of it. But
yeah, that's okay. Thank you so much. That's great. Okay,
I'll
this
just
was one thing fine enough that I was expecting you. So the answer tells all the thing. Let's check out to over. So number 3, we have the team line. Number 2, we have team Earth. Oh my goodness. So the tiger's just, here
the
comes the
tiger took
tiger.
over. All right.
So
Thank you, everybody.
team tiger is just on the top in a very early session. That's not a good sign for the other teams, team Earth. And so you have to take care of that, okay? You can just make sure that things are on your control. That's okay. That's totally fine, okay? So let's just jump out to our social media content. today we will have a very, very informative session. Do you know what the reason is? That it's just dealing with the real-time sessions, okay? We're having how does the World Wide Web works? How can we be efficient using the Google and all the stuff? And how can we use and we can know our own privacy rights regarding the social media. So social media is one of the, you can say the game changer, okay? We cannot, we wouldn't be possible to have interaction with so many people that social media technology has provided us. We can have a crowdsourcing, we can have our promotions, we can have our access to all of the population around the world. It doesn't matter the country and all the stuff, except that's not that doesn't have those controls over the social media. But just to tell you the power, it has changed almost the life of almost every individual. Okay, that's one thing for sure. Also from you can say they have wasted their time in social media, and the one who understands, they have also like gathered information. So there are two positive. You can also have the positive side and the negative side. So let's just jump out to some of the common things that we'll be expecting. We will be having social media platforms. You know better than us, I think. This new generation is like just crazy about social media. You can say this, you can just name it the Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. The list goes on, okay? If someone doesn't have a social media account these days, so these young generation actually tell them, hey, they don't have any idea of Snapchat? Are you a human being or alien, okay? They'll just pass a comment, something like that. So it's just you can say there are so many like people inside those platforms, and they have made the things more interesting. So we also have the crowdsourcing. Normally, if you just go to the crowdsourcing, it's just like to break down a big kind of task into subdividing, because we have a very high potential in the social media contents. You can have the contents, you can have your quizzes, you can have your results and all the stuff. You can ask from people, how can we use the crowdsourcing to have a great advantage for us. So that's one thing for sure. We'll be just having a quick look into that as well. And obviously the social media marketing, it has like billions and billions of dollars. You can see the investment in companies. You see every organization, you see every company in the world, every vendor, if they're like from medium size to super high, they're just investing and they're just influencing your mind. So make sure you have a filtered set on your mind. Okay, what you should watch, what you should select, and what you should proceed with it. Okay. So these are the three major things that we'll be discussing, obviously. This is one thing about the social media content, web-based technology to distribute information, encourage people to connect with others who can share common interests. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram is one of the best example. I think most of you people have used all of these social media contents. We have the crowdsourcing to reach out a large group for help to resolve problems. So for example, like let's suppose we have a survey, we have a data analysis to be done, maybe like 80,000 people. So just have to reach out to social media content so they can cover up those. They can like reach to this amount of people. You can't do that on your single, but the social media has the power to reach out that. So it can involve like collecting ideas from users, professionals, pooling money, resources from a variety of people. So you have all the countries, just have to select, hey, I want to do my you can say my crowdsourcing, let's suppose in EU region. So they'll just select that and they'll just make sure that it is reached to every individual in that community. So look to the influence they've just created on the world. Okay. And obviously like some of them are connected. Like for example, if you ever have noticed something, like you just Google, hey, I just like let's suppose Nike shoes. So when you just type that on Google and you go to your Instagram or Facebook or your other related kind of platforms, so you just see like Nike shoes on your on your phone. So that's one way to see that, do you know, even your search hits are like already connected with the marketing people, with the marketing thing. So that's why you can see those ads on your browser. That's why you can see a lot of this related kind of content. So make sure what you type, make sure what you see, and always never ever like get influenced by simple things, and those obviously you have to take care of your cyber things and all the stuff. So social media marketing used on the social media to present business and message quickly, and it's in the best light possible with intent to interact and influence potential customers and expand their business potential. So you can see like a lot of people are doing these days on the social media marketing. If you have like a shop, you just have to advertise that on the social media marketing, and you can reach out to thousands and thousands of users around the world. So this is actually the power of social media marketing, that actually reach out to this amount of people. So all the things these days are just going like you can say online. Okay, it's just all the online, the world wide web, the internet thing that's actually making the world like more digitalized. They're just connecting each people one another. They're just making sure that everyone has their business share and all the stuff. So you always have to be super careful regarding all these resources. Okay. This is how you obviously most of you people like know. So it's not for everyone. So maybe some people may not know how to use or how to create a social media account and all that stuff. So let me just have a very quick guide for them. If you go to Twitter, you can sign up with your Gmail. If you go to your Facebook, you can sign up with your email address and all that stuff. You can just put your first name, last name, work history, date of birth, things you like, education, and obviously if you have any politics affiliation, or if you have hometown, and all your favorite books, your interest and all the stuff. It's just a simple form. You have to just fill that and you're good to go, and you can just connect with your friend. So this is how the social media works. It's obviously for all of the platforms. Facebook, it's just like you can say a standardized way to get into the social media. So there may be a slight changes. Maybe they don't want your date of birth in a very initial stages. If they're a new account of social media, they may ask later on. You can skip like your education. You can just add those. But these are just like a complete form. How can you just get into the social media thing? Okay. So this is one thing super cool. You have to know that, and obviously you have to know the sign up option for all of those social media websites. If it's like Twitter, www.twitter.com. If it's like Facebook, facebook.com. If it is like Instagram, instagram.com, snapchat.com. So they have all of these steps. They've also guided. They can also like self-guide you. We can say the guided steps they can provide you. Okay, so this is a simple form. Those who don't have. So the social media is something, a joint machine. They're connected. Each and everyone is connected with other relevant. And obviously, if someone interested, they are also like a relevant person. So we can have friends from anywhere around the world. With internet access, you can just send a hi message on your WhatsApp to from east to west in seconds. So how cool is that? Within a millisecond, you just communicate from one end of the earth to another one. So this is how this internet is made up. This is how they have made us as a global village. Okay, the concept of borders, the concept of all these things almost like vanishing. Okay, it doesn't make sense if you're like sitting in like in the Himalayas mountains. You can just access all the things to the EU region and all the stuff. So things are like super connected with one another. So this is the power of social media. Okay. Okay, so you have to know your privacy. One of the most like drawbacks we're having in the social media. So I'll just add something over here. If someone is using social media content, can you please type uh, like Google Authenticator Have this time for all of you. I think you should, can you please have thumb ups for the Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator? Please have a thumbs up for all these Google and Microsoft Authentic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, thank you so much for the response. So, the reason I was talking is, for example, if you have your Facebook, social media, your Instagram, Twitter, and all the stuff, you have to use this feature, okay? It is super, super mandatory. Super, super mandatory. In these days, especially, you can be a victim of cybercrime, you can be a victim of cybersecurity and all the stuff. So in order to prevent that, you always should enable two-factor authentication. We call it MFA, multi-factor authentication. So if someone is not using Google Authenticator, you can easily like go to your Play Store in Android and your App Store in your iPhone. You can just download this application. It is fully authentic with colors of Google Authenticator and also for the Microsoft. Both like works on the same kind of security option for you. So the reason I'm telling you that if someone even hack your ID and password of your social media account, they still would need your Google Authenticator 6-digit code, okay? So if you put this on, if you enable this feature on your Instagram, you can go to your Instagram profile and you can go to settings, privacy settings, security settings, and you can just enable the multi-factor authentication. We call it MFA, okay? M for mango, so we call it MFA, multi-factor authentication. One of the most important things so you can be prevented from all those worries. So, and always remember this name. It is MFA, multi-factor authentication. When you use that, you have almost like little somehow more than like 70% of privacy is almost like safe enough. So it's very, very recommended. You should always enable MFA on your email address, on your social media accounts, on your banking applications and all the stuff. So it is super, super recommended, okay? So you can have, and always make sure you search for those things that are relevant and always make sure that you have your relevant stuff. Someone cannot access to your personal documents, your personal family pictures, or maybe your all documents you're having it. So privacy is super, super important in social media accounts. We have the social division also, and obviously the cyberbullying that we are facing in the social media. That is,
Nasa, can I add a comment here for the privacy? Just to
yeah,
make us
sure.
see how important this is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if some of us are aware of this. A few weeks ago, Facebook was fined 1.3 billion euro by the European Union for violation of GDPR, their privacy law in Europe. So sometimes this is some real serious issues that the top organizations in the world are dealing with every day. So, it's not just we as individuals, people are liable at the biggest organization in the world. In the US, for example, Tesla, the founder, Elon Musk, bought a social media site, Twitter, a few months ago, and he fired a lot of people. And he said, oh, he also mistakenly fired his compliance team, only for him to realize, oh, wait a minute, I'm required to be in compliance. Then they try to bring those people back. Of course, those guys ask for extra raise and all that. But the point is that um, privacy is a concern, not just for us as individuals. A lot of organizations are liable. It's a big deal. And I'll tell you one thing. Everybody on this call, if you've not set up your two-factor authenticator on your WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, after this call, do it. Um, the stress you will go through when, God forbid, you're a victim of hack is not worth it. It's going to take you 5, 10 minutes to set it up or even less, but the stress is just crazy. And
That,
I've dealt with that too in the past. So just make
yeah,
sure.
yeah, like I have also like experienced most of like very dedicated people, very sound, familiar people. Their accounts are hacked, and like some very kind of unacceptable content is like almost done through their ID, because this is your ID, right? This is your representation across the world. So you should always be like aware of this thing. So to avoid such kind of stress, to avoid such kind of reputation, you can say damage, and you can like, even if you want to say that I want to cage people, I want to give them to the government and all the stuff, it's like super hard for them also, because they use like a lot of technologies and sometimes they're very hard to track. Okay, so to avoid that, that's why multi-factor authentication is the only barrier between you and the hacker and the bad guys that can access your social media account, your WhatsApp, your all relevant kind of sensitive accounts that you're having it across the online world on the web. So it is super recommended. Um, that's let's make like sure you don't get into that stress before getting into such kind of trauma, such kind of thing. You just have to follow the simple IT basic rules, simple ground rule of cybersecurity. Make sure you never ever let those people access your personal information, and obviously make sure the group you're connected with, they're authentic, you know those people and they have the communication channel, you like personally know them. So make sure don't click on some irrelevant stuff and all the stuff. So that's one thing for sure you should avoid it. Okay, so it is very important, by the way, the social media content. Do not we always say, do not like you can say never ever let, or never ever let your children to have participation on such kind of tools that are like that are like that that's like the victim of cyberbullying and all this stuff. If you are like a victim or witness of a cyberbullying, take the following suggestion to stop bullying.gov into consideration. This is one of like the top US website we're having, stopbullying.gov. And obviously, first, do not participate. We always say do not participate in liking, sharing, commenting on, or forwarding these kind of posts. So if someone is like, you can say it's like hacked or it's like misused, you should discourage them. Okay, that's the best way you can do. Okay, you should discourage them, and you should like give the real person maybe a tax, or you can say, okay, that's fine, we are having an online world, and things happen like that. So you have to be kind of, you should always approach like with a positive vibe. So that's one thing you should always be considering. Okay, and obviously when you stop encouraging such kind of thing, this actually limit the potential damage of the message to victim and others, obviously. And secondly, do not retaliate or respond negatively to those posts. This can only increases the potential to make the situation worse. Okay, so if you're saying, hey, why did you hack my ID? I'll not let you, and I'll not let you eat the dinner tonight. I'll just come with a lot of person and all this stuff and all these things. It's not gonna work, okay? You don't even know the name of, you don't know even the name of that person. You don't know the location. You don't know the exact aliases of that person. So how can you like threaten him? How can you like make sure that you are like saving yourself? It will never ever work. It will actually you'll make sure that things go worse for you. So don't ever do that. So if the thing has happened, that's okay, and you just have to take care by following those above steps that we have discussed. Okay, and obviously, if you feel safe during so respond the person who created the hurtful content in a calm, clear, and constructive manner. Okay, this obviously can be online on a phone call or in person, and you can make sure that, hey, this is not a good thing. You have just done all with my personal belonging, all the stuff. You're not like you just have to be super professional regarding all those things. Okay, and obviously. While we cannot control actions of others, we should do our best to be good online citizens. So online citizens, we are almost like billions peoples. So like I am for sure like more than 70% doesn't know how to be a good online citizen. I am like 110% for sure for that. So You don't have to be on those 70% list. You should always be with the 30%, the good list, and make sure you increase your community and you make sure that the 70 actually convert those negative converts to positive. Okay, that should be your aim, and you should always educate your children, your families, your neighbors, your friends, and you should like promote this good online citizenship kind of campaign. Okay, just on your behalf. You're not, everyone is not going to go for election. Okay, no one will like you want to say, hey, I just want to do the election thing this year. It will not work. Okay, you just have to go for the online citizen kind of campaign, just on self-respect, and just tell them, hey, this is the way how to treat these kind of scenarios. Okay, so this is something that we should always know. Do not, as we say, do not retaliate. So you can have, you should like stop all the things. You should never like, you should discourage such kind of posts that are like damaging and all the stuff. And you should always um, tell them like respectfully and calmly, professionally, that this is not the way. And obviously, you have the privacy rights. If it's like more damaging your ego, your personal information, your online kind of image, you can have those laws and rules according to the countries. You can just follow them, okay? And follow up with the victim. Obviously, you have to make sure that the things that they have done, they are deleted. They are like they are now totally fine, and you're totally calm with the complete kind of procedure. So you have to have a good follow. By the way, if you know the victim, so you have to make sure she or he is just like going through a super clear process, and you should always like tell them this is the part, this is actually done, and people know, and this is how it's proceeding. This is how the world works, by the way. So the it's like a super simple activity. Like maybe all of you have like completed this one, but those who haven't, you just have to set up a social media profile just for your own information, or maybe just for a test, so you can know how the things work on, and you can have a clear kind of information, and you can have a clear kind of, you can say, um, a vision for how the social media works on. So you can do that. Okay. So how has social media helped society? How has it hurt society? So we have also the positive and also the
Nazar,
negative
do you want the
comment.
team to do a breakout session to just talk about this topic?
Yeah, this will be like really great. So
Yeah.
maybe you can have a great discussion. How are the social media like they have helped our society to be educated, and how has they hurt our society? So you have to look both of those
Okay.
perspective, and obviously you'll be like divided into groups. So you have to have a keen interest. Please do participate in those groups. Okay, these are like
Yeah.
random people. We like collect our random students, and you will have a super great exposure. Okay, that's one thing for sure. You are having international exposure. There are super great minds over here, and
Yeah.
one thing for sure, everyone knows about it. Okay, so please
Yeah.
do participate in those groups. Okay.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll do a quick, you hear a little beep. Please don't sign out. It's just to put you in a group. We'll bring you back. We'll do like for 10 minutes. Please participate. You'll just be 7 in each group so you can talk. And the goal is just discuss each of these. Nazar, can you do me a favor and copy and paste this into the chat, these
um
questions, so that,
yeah, sure.
yeah.
I'll just make sure. I'll just
Okay.
yeah, they had the difficulty, by the way, last time also. They were not asking the question, so I'll just paste all these questions in the I'll just stop the sharing, and I'll just paste all these questions in the chat box, so you can easily like access those, and you can easily have conversation with your group team. Okay, so let me
And
just
yep. And team, please, once you hear the silent beep, don't bail out, just interact. Everybody should be a leader, just talk. The goal is just to get us to participate and think about this. These are real life issues, ladies and gentlemen. So be part of it. Let's discuss it, especially for those of us that have loved ones, children. These are big issues globally right now. But let's talk about it as a team also. I think it'll be great. All right. So let's quickly do that real
yeah, I
quick.
think
So
Okay, can you see my questions I have like posted? I think they all should be able now to see that, right?
Yes. Yes. If you can see the question posted, can you give us a thumbs up, please? And one thing I will also do, I would also share the question on the CompTIA group chat to kind of just give you guys another easy way to kind of see it. If you're not part of the WhatsApp community for CompTIA, I'm going to put that link also here so that you can join that group. It's a place we kind of share a lot of information about fundamentals of IT. It will be more busy this week, so be ready for that. Okay. So, all right, let's quickly get to this group. It will be for like 10 minutes and Nathan and I will be bouncing around different groups. Okay. All right. Have fun, everybody. All right, welcome back, everybody. Naza, I think over to you.
Yeah, yeah, we are having still those breakout rooms. I think we have to
Okay,
break them down. So
okay. I broke everybody down, so I think everybody should be back. I know we lost some people as a result of the connection, so some of them will be coming back.
uh, uh, we are having okay, great.
Yeah, we should be good.
Okay, okay. So thank you so much. So this was one of the like kind of informative, interactive session that we were expecting to have your views on that. And the pros normally the normal concerns that we're having, the positive impact is like so much. They're like so much. I can say there's so much potential in the social media that if someone understands the potential in this social media, you can have a diversified, you can say, knowledge that you can collect and you can use that in a very positive way. So the problem we are still facing it. That's one of the global issues, not like just concerned to one country and all the stuff. You have settings of all of those social media accounts. Okay, if you go to Facebook, let's just pick up one, and you can go to the privacy settings. You can have your kid monitoring. You can have like your, you can limit those what they can see. You can have all those security settings. The problem that we are facing as a human being is that we don't explore. We just make them as an optional thing for us. Okay, and that's not a good thing for us, by the way, for all of us. So the positive, when you use some tool, for example, for your family, for your own self, for your friends, you should at least know all the functions. Okay, that's one thing for sure. You can go to settings. You can say, oh, okay, I'm just slipping it down. You can just scroll on your cell phone. You can just go settings. You can say, hey, this is for that. I can see I know about it. I have done the training, all the stuff. I know about the MFA. I can enable my multi-factor authentication. I'm also in the other session. So these are the things that you can easily like easily do that. That's like very, very important. You should know about it. Okay, it's super, super important to have that. So let's just jump out to the art of searching. Okay, the World Wide Web, one of the most important play that we are having it in this role. We will be dealing with the internet, the web, the internet, the internet service provider (ISP), the HTTP. We have the hypertext transfer protocol. We have the FTP file transfer protocol. We have the URL Universal Resource Locator, domain name system (DNS) and transmission control protocol, or the internet protocol. We call it TCP/IP protocol. So all of your internet's like totally working on the TCP/IP protocol. That's one thing that we'll be having. So these are some abbreviation. I think you can access those contents on the Academy also. So this is one of the most important thing that you should like have a focus also on. So these are the super basic things. Okay, you should know about what is internet service provider. You should know about the IP address. You should know about the hypertext transfer protocol, what is HTTP, file transfer protocol, FTP. So if someone asks, like as we said in conversation, if they just refer, oh, do you know what the FTP server is not going fine today? So we say, oh, do you mean the FTP means the file transfer protocol? They have the server, right? So it means some file sharing and all the stuff. You should be assuming the things that like you're just like you should dissolve yourself in that scenario, okay? In the IT, like most of your queries are already solved by assumption, okay? You can just do like, okay, if it is the IP address, it means every digital device should have an IP address, right? Correct. IP address is like like a dedicated name. Whenever you go, when you come from the office, you come from the work, you just enter your home, you just turn on your Wi-Fi of your cell phone, you automatically get connected. Why is that so? Because you get an IP address. It's say, hey, you know, this iPhone, this cell phone, this laptop, I know about this is this, for example, this is like Vector iPhone. This is like, for example, this is like And for example, laptops. So I think we know about it. We can assign them an IP address. So the DHCP that for you dynamic host configuration protocol events like automatically assign, and you can also do the static one. So it's just like super basic things that will be just covering all in details also. So these are some very important knowledge over here. The ISP, um, for most of you, like having those internet connections that if they're from Virgin, if there's like from high fiber, if they're from high internet. So there are a lot of vendors around the world. So they're providing you, it depends on the country where you're living in, the region you're living in. So those are all internet service providers. So you can just say that, the person is just taking my monthly income of like, let's suppose my monthly internet bill, that's actually your ISP, okay? That's your internet service provider. They have given you a fiber optic cable to your home. So they're like charging you for monthly basis, just like your utility bills and all that stuff, okay? And we'll be covering all those protocols also, okay? So the key terms also include the HTML, hypertext markup language, intranet for more security within organization, voice over IP, we call it voice over IP, like those digital phones, if you have seen that, they also have a small webcam, so you can also talk, they can also see you. So those all digital equipments are voice over IP devices, okay? We have wireless fidelity, that is Wi-Fi, one of the most important person these days, even most important than oxygen. You can, you should like admit that, right? If you don't have the Wi-Fi, you'll be having a lot of trouble, right? So it is somehow like you can say like in a race with oxygen. So it's super important, by the way. So we also have the Internet of Things. We call it IoT devices. Those are like smart devices. If you have heard about the automatic microwave oven, your fan can be an IoT device. You can have a webcam that can be an IoT device. So things are getting like smarter and smarter. You can go to office and you can just connect through your internet login and username and password, and you can say, hey, I have just put some sandwich on the microwave oven, so I'm just arriving home in 15 minutes. So I think you should be able to make that good for me. So you just press the command and your microwave oven, if that is an IoT device, it can start, and once you arrive home, it will be obviously ready for you. So how cool is that? Everything is working on their own self. So that's a great thing we are having it. This is like super important for these days technology. So things are very much like evolving. In IT, remember, if you get a pause like 6 months, okay, you'll be like very in trouble, okay? So you have to be with the technology. That's the only thing, okay? Once you get into the foundation things, when you get into technology things, you'll be just like repeating things. Okay, they have done that, advancement in these things, and this is how they proceed in those things, okay? We also have web applications. All things are working on web. We have blogs, we have wikis, RSS feeds, we have the podcast. All are inside these key terms that we're going to discuss, okay? We know about worldwide system that's like interconnected with computers and public networks. So this is how it works. The web, short for the World Wide Web, digital content that is delivered over the internet, usually through a web browser. So the browser can be Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and the list goes on. So you also have the internet service provider, the company that provides you individual and business access to the internet and other related services. So all those to your home, to your offices, all those are your internet service providers that you're paying monthly basis bills to them. So they are your good old friend, okay? We also have the IP address, a numerical label that's assigned to devices so they can connect and communicate on network. So this is a digit we I'll be just typing in the chat box, okay? Please do have a quick search on that on the upcoming classes. Just type what is IP address? What is IP address? And also, it's a very small assignment. Just spare like 5 minutes of your time and you can like quickly search that and you can understand that, okay? What is the IP address? And you can say like groups of IP addresses. So you'll be having that. It is very, very important. So you can just go forward. I think you can see that on the chat box now. What is IP address and what are the groups of IP addresses? We have normally, let me tell you, A, B, C, D. And obviously, these are something that you should be able to understand, okay? It is super, super important, okay? We have the HTTP, a set of rules that governs the transfer of web content between computer. So let me just show you something over here. If you just go to Amazon.com and you just see this, you would know that, okay, this is how things are going on. You can see over here a green check. You can see at the very top left corner, view site information, okay? So you can click on that. If this is like red or if it's just like HTTP, make sure it's not, the connection is secure. You can see that over here, the certificate is valid, the connection is secure. So never ever fall for the fake ones, okay? You can easily see over here at this browser. This one is like very, very important. You should know that the connection is secured. Your information, for example, passwords or credit card numbers is private when it is sent to the site. So you can have them more. You can see this is the valid certificate you're having it. You can click on that. It means that this it is issued on 19th of October and it will expire on 19th of October at this 5 a.m. also. You can see the details and you can see this from Amazon. It's already the collect sure. You can see all those details. As we'll just discuss about digital certificate authorities maybe in our later sessions, but these are some of the clues that you should know about it, okay? So we have the FTP set of rules that governs the transfer of files between computers. So those protocol that's coming again, these are actually a set of rules that actually governs the internet working. And they can like we just have a traffic rules, right? For the green, you should go. For the yellow, you should wait. For the red, you should stop, right? So the same, like we want to continue the traffic keeps going, and it can like avoid accidents and all the stuff. Same kind of you can say protocols are implemented on HTTP, okay? And who has implemented those protocols? We have a number of authorities, okay? Like for example, we have one of authorities called IEEE, okay? IEEE, okay? So if you go over here, this is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, okay? It's worldwide, so you can see a lot of things over here, professional home for engineering and technology community worldwide, okay? So all people like accepting those and all the stuff. So these are some bodies that actually give you the protocols, okay? Like they give the protocol even with the car sensors. So if you're like using they make sure they are up to standards. They know that the road conditions, they should have keep in mind the human safety and all the stuff. So there are a lot of things going on in the world, right? So to avoid all those things, to make sure everything's work perfectly fine, we have 2 to 3 larger communities. One of them is IEEE, okay? Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. So you can see the standards over here for the Wi-Fi, for Mac, for like you can see for the purchase standards, for you have like hundreds of standards. Like they do all the stuffs for all of the world, and every country like agrees that. Okay, this is the IEEE spectrum. You can go over here and you can surf this website. By the way, it is super cool. Okay, you can have that and you can see that how like things work and how they streamline that. So they have even set a lot of things for the robotics for a lot of larger communities. Okay, that's worldwide, professors, scientists, and very like sharp-minded people, very dedicated people. They just work on those sensors, those standards for you people, and make sure that those reports, those AI machines, those Wi-Fi things, and all that stuff, they all work totally fine for you, without like harming the environment and the human population. So those are the protocols. They're all set by these kind of communities, and they make sure that you communicate with. You can transfer files. You can have a set of rules on that. Like one of them, like universal resource locator, the reference or address to resource on internet. The domain name system, one of the most important things, DNS, a system and set of rules that associate domain names such as web servers with a unique IP address so user can find and use network resources by easily readable name instead of an IP address. So normally, if you go and see Google IP address, right? So if you go, this is actually the Google IP address, okay? This is actually the Google IP address. So um, you cannot type such kind of IP addresses, right? You cannot do that. Uh, you can see like now IP address, you can just go and they can like this for the country. I think I should have the Google IP address for IP4. This is the Google IP address, right? So you cannot type every time 8.8.8.4 or 192.168.5 or like the A series or the C series or all the stuff. But the DNS actually you just type like Google, just give me Google, okay? Just type like that, and things things appear for you, okay? So that's actually the DNS that's converting you that to a human readable file, okay? Normally in the technical side, this is not the case, okay? You have to type the IP address to reach to google.com. But the DNS is actually like a set of rules they have given you, and you can easily like type that, and they can convert that to your, okay, you're reaching to Google, so I can just convert that into that digits, and that digits can go and they can convert same or vice versa, okay? So DNS is something super important. Remember this name, okay? It is a very joint name in the IT, domain name system, we call it DNS. That converts a set of rules, that converts a unique IP addresses to a human, easily readable name, okay? So they convert that for you. If you go to Facebook, Facebook has like different name, okay? A different IP address. It will be like, let's suppose 203.205.107.68, something like that. So you cannot type such a large number every time to just reach out to facebook.com. You just write, hey, just give me facebook.com. So the DNS converts that for you. When you press enter, they convert and they actually give you to the login page of Facebook. This is how it is done in the back end, okay? So all this transmission is done through TCP protocol. We call it TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol, a set of rules that facilitates internet communication. So if you go over here, let's suppose, let me just show you this thing. This is something like super technical, so I have to TCP IP model, okay? If you go over here, go to images, and this is a reference model. So let's suppose one of my students whose name is number 59. That's great. So number 59 is actually giving me a hi message on the chat. So as per the ISO model, it will come from the application layer. It will go to presentation layer. Things will be adding slowly. Layers will be adding: session layer, transport layer, network layer, and data link layer, and obviously the physical layer where the wiring or the Wi-Fi is. Then it will give that message through fiber optic to the ISP, the internet service provider, and it will go around through the other layer till the top. So when it comes to the top, so the message will appear for me. So do you know how many like thousands of processes are done within these milliseconds? Okay, how fast are things going on? This is how you just have a simple high message. If you transfer file, it also goes through the same process, and vice versa. If they give you like response, you have to follow the rule. So the TCP IP model, the ISO model, Open System Interconnection. So these are the current models that we are having. There are layers, okay? We have to read each layer, what is going on in the application layer, what's going on in the presentation layer, what's going on in the session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link, and physical. So this is how it is done, okay? It is super important. So please have a big star on the TCP or the OSI model. We have the HTML, hypertext markup language, that the web pages use to display content through browsers. So those pages that you are seeing, it, if it is a Facebook page, if it is a YouTube page, if it is some gaming page, if it is some information page, those are all like, most of them are like were written in the HTML, and we have like other languages also. So those are the pages that are displayed on the browser, okay? This is how you see the knowledge. And we have an intranet, a private network usually hidden from the internet, and the protected by security device that uses same technologies that are used on the internet and may or may not be connected to the internet. So like, let's suppose you're living in, let's suppose in Los Angeles, and you have just traveled to, let's suppose, Africa, right? So, and you are wishing to access your company website. So they may give you a VPN to access their company website. So that's a good example of intranet. You're just accessing your organization as you're like appearing in your hometown. So this is how you access that. It's a private network through VPNs, through dedicated kind of tunneling we are having in the internet. So this is how it is done. This is how you are connected. Voice over IP technology that sends voice phone calls using TCP/IP protocol over digital data lines. So as we discussed, these are some cool things we have to search for that. So you can just say Cisco voice over IP phones, okay? You can see that over here. These are the voice over IP phones, okay? You can see the picture, you can see a person, you can have a small camera over here, and you can have a great time just like on your cell phone. But you know, you cannot use your WhatsApp, your cell phone every time on business meetings and all that stuff. So for that reason, you have to use something official, right? So for those things, we have those voice over IP devices, okay? So this is one of example, like a digital phone. We are having voice over Cisco IP phone 8800 series. Now you can have an internet cable into that, and you can use that, and it is the latest technology, by the way, so it's a great thing. And there are like a lot of people in the world with professional organizations are using it. So you just have to know the menu things, the things that they have shown, a lot of features inside, a lot of features, okay? So this is how it looks like in meetings and online meetings and all the stuff. And this has been such a great development, by the way. Okay, okay. So we have Wi-Fi. So that allows computers, smartphones, and devices to communicate on wireless network. Who can tell me which frequency is your Wi-Fi using? In? Can you just type in your chat box? What is the frequency that you're, I'm asking about the frequency, okay? Frequency of your Wi-Fi. Okay, somehow correct. That's okay. That's fine. Thank you so much, Taiwo. Thank you so much, Kedon. Thank you for your input. 5G is also fine enough. Fiber is not a relevant answer. Uh, that's okay. If someone is using landline, that's okay. But what is the frequency of Wi-Fi, the normal frequency we are using it most of the world? 5 gigahertz is totally fine. I'm expecting one more frequency, okay? One more frequency, okay? No, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just saw it. It's 2.4 gigahertz. Thank you so much for the input. And this guy is Jabriman. Thank you so much, student, for your keen interest on such a 2.0. So we have two kind of frequencies, okay, in the Wi-Fi. Either the devices will be having 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. Remember that, okay? These are two things we are having it, 2.4, 5 gigahertz. Most of these recent devices have 5 gigahertz frequency. The reason behind it, it is like super speed. They have a super fast speed. We can compare that in a little while. And another reason is all the latest devices, the cell phones, they are 5G supported, okay? So that's why also the device have a rollout. So it will take little time to cleanly wipe out the 2.4 one that we are having it. We are having it these days. So remember, we have two frequencies in Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. There are devices that are supported by both frequencies, which means that they can also generate 2.4 gigahertz. So if there are devices that accept 2.4 gigahertz frequency, that they can easily connect. And if there are devices that can accept 5 gigahertz, so they can also connect. So it's a good thing that they're having two modules, 2.4, 5 gigahertz, correct? Am I correct? Am I right? You can have objection, okay? That's okay. Totally fine. I am a very, very constructive person, okay? You can always have my feedback. You can always give me the things that I can change. I am not AI machine, by the way. That's for sure. So you can suggest the things I can improve, and I may be a little faster. The reason behind it, we have a lot of good things coming up to cover. And that's why I want to cover maximum of our course. So you can have at least a glance of that course and you can just turn out. So we will be having like very more knowledge in the coming days. Now we are just like on the highway and we have just started our Ferrari. So we are just going to accelerate that. Okay. So just have kind of, you can say, a mindset to just go with a speed above 300 kilometer per hour. Okay. Okay. Now I do that by the real time, by the way. I'm just talking about your mind. Okay, great. So in Wi-Fi, 2.4, 5 gigahertz, right? Whenever you purchase a Wi-Fi device, remember you have to look into back. They have a sticker on it, okay? They can give you or you can ask according to your requirement. If you have 5G devices, you can easily tell them, hey, I want a Wi-Fi device, a 5G device. I don't need 2.4 gigahertz because 2.4 is a little slower, but they have a long distance. So it depends on the things, it depends on your requirement. We have Internet of Things. Very, very cool topic, okay? I like go for days with this topic. The best thing is things are getting smarter, okay? So one of the reason of Internet of Things is they are very cool sensors on the beaches, you can say on riverbanks and all that stuff. They know they have transformed actually the weather also. So the weather update you are actually like receiving, most of them are like smart sensors, okay? You can also have those IoT sensors at your home, okay? Water tanks. They can even tell you the quality of water, okay? That how purified this water is. So how cool is that? They can tell you the temperature. They can tell you like the very basic things, okay? So these Internet of Things devices, these sensors are super smart. So if you have an access, you can easily use that. Computing concept that describe network of physical devices and everyday devices, including refrigerators, my goodness, thermostats, street lights, environmental tracking systems. and communicate, and obviously that they communicate with the internet. So they get the data, you get the data of your water tank, and you can say, oh my goodness, I still have 30%. So I'm not going to call someone to have more water in my tank. So let me just finish that to 0.5, then we'll just think about it. Okay, just kidding. So they, by the way, they have the option of this one. They have the option, so they can tell you the quantity of water. They can tell you the purification of your water. So that's very cool information. Okay, you should always be super, super attractive to Internet of Things devices. We have web application that uses internet and a web browser to complete a task. The user's computer interacts with the remote server to access the app. So in a web application, we have a lot of web application. Obviously, you can see that you have even online games, you have online education softwares, you have online like interactive dashboards. It totally depends on all those things. You can easily like connect to those applications. You can have the data and you can easily surf on those devices. Okay. A blog is a website that produces content in forms of posts that contain text, images, videos, and other media. Blogs can usually have more casual conversational style than mainstream websites. So normally on website, there are different kind of websites. On blogs, they actually have most like little flexible ends to users. You can communicate that. You can have your view on, or you can type that over there. And this is how it works on the blog. And this is how they like chat with each other or something. They share the knowledge, okay, experiences. We have Wiki, an online encyclopedia we have that uses hyperlinks to connect each entry to other relevant entries. So like Wikipedia, we have a lot of wikis in the in the web. So you can, I think most of them have been used. So it's totally fine to have a great knowledge from that source as well. Okay. We have the RSS, a system-based simple text file that read by program to provide stream of updates, feed about or a particular topic. RSS stood for DF site summary, but also known as really simple syndication or rich site summary. So these both are like the abbreviation for the RSS. They actually have a complete kind of website informations. They give you the updates and all the stuff. You can have that. You can enable that by if someone is using the Outlook, you can enable that in your Outlook. Going to your advanced options, you can easily enable the RSS feeds over there. We have the podcast and audio program split up into episodes that can be enjoyed on demand. Podcast topics can range from cooking, fashion, music, and about any other topic that you can think of. So you have seen those podcast shows as well. So these are some knowledge to you. The internet, obviously, this is how it works. Super, super clear diagram. We have no confusion over here, okay? This is how all these houses are connected with the internet via the ISP, and this is how they communicate with the same. So if this, for example, like want to share something over there, they can easily have the conversation. For example, let's suppose this building is this building willing to have communication. They first have to go to fiber connection, and the fiber is connected with the internet. Obviously, they can just communicate likewise this way. Okay, this is just a simple way how those all are connected to internet, and obviously with the ISP, internet service provider, our good old friend. Okay, so let me just erase that. You have know about it. These are all the computers, homes, all are connected with the fiber optic. So we have two kind of ways to connect with ISP, okay? And it is like these days. Earlier, like a few years back, we only had the wide kind of connection to the ISP, but these days we also have the wireless one, okay? And how do we have that? We have by the name of Elon Musk. What was the name of that? Just what? Yes, internet. Starlink. Okay, Starlink. Okay. So I don't know why I just skipped it out of my mind. So Starlink is one of the game changer for the world, okay? So even the services in Ukraine, the fiber optic and all the stuff, totally damaged by the war and all the stuff, but they're still able to connect, right? So they were able to connect, and the best way, actually, the greater way, like we had seen, was actually through wirelessly, through satellites, SpaceX, Starlink satellites. Okay, they have that over here, so you can go to Sahara Desert, you can go to Antarctica, you can go to any portion of the world. You can go over there and you can easily like connect to internet if they have the satellite or that region. So you have to search for the SpaceX website. They know all, they have all the information. You can see that they have all the things, and it's super easy. Okay, you can just bring these SpaceX device, the Starlink device, into your home. We call it Starlink. You can just store that in your car. You just have a simple kind of this kind of device, just plug in and get power from your car battery, and wherever you are, you're just connected with a super fast internet. How cool is that? No fiber optic, no cabling, just a wireless device, okay? So that is something super cool. Always remember. These days you're having two kind of internet service providers, the wireless and wired one. The wired one is obviously through the fiber optic that you're receiving it, and the wireless competitor that you're receiving like these days are the Starlink devices. Okay, you have two computers in this technology. It is the super updated version. Okay, so these are all computers connected with obviously with the ISP, and obviously it is connected with the internet. We have the corporate network. We have all those over here, and this is how your all network, like bunch of ISPs, bunch of internet service providers, all are at least like they have to be connected to the internet so you can share resources. Okay, it doesn't make sense for someone that doesn't understand that, oh, how does that work? How does the internet works? So all of the world is currently like connected through fiber optic, and then they have sub kind of contractors that are called internet service providers. And from those, we have connections to our homes. And this is how the world works. Maybe there are a few exceptions with the Starlink devices. That's totally a wireless infrastructure. So that's also an ISP, okay? And obviously we have the web and other internet technologies, the internet. This is the guy. So Tim Berners-Lee was just invented the World Wide Web. So linked content delivered through a browser, hypertext links, unique URLs, search engines. So what we can say to them, a bit close to Tim Berners-Lee. At least he deserved that, okay? At least we are connected today. So I think we will like really appreciate. So can you just give a thumb to Tim Berners-Lee, our very good old friend, okay? Can you just give a thumb, please, on the chat box? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the input. Thank you so much. So these are some names that you should know about the inventions that actually we are using it. At least we should know who has created and who's behind, and we should at least have the information, by the way. So the web applications, the webmail, obviously, productivity software, we're having a lot of productivity softwares, video games, social media content. So obviously web is equal to the content. So we have tens of content over here, tens of content, okay? It's internet is obviously into the cable infrastructure these days, but soon, or we'll be just having very soon to the Starlink devices, the wireless one, as per the speed that we are receiving it in the IT. So it'll be rapidly going to the wireless technologies. And the Wi-Fi technologies, we're having 2.45 gigahertz, right? You can see that, and there are devices that they have mentioned, okay? They have written on those devices these are the ports. If you see the back port, the blue ports, we are having four kind of ports over here. You may have like similar kind of router in your home as well. So these are called the LAN ports, local area networks, and this small one that they're written the internet. Normally this like by yellow color. So this is the internet port. So this device also work as a switch, okay? So we'll be also slowly and gradually we'll be slowly and gradually also shifting to that as well, okay? So you can also have a plug-in cable to this port and you can connect your computers, okay? It can be used also for accessing the internet, okay? We have the other internet technologies, email, web mail uses obviously the World Wide Web. Desktop mail doesn't use the web, they just have those applications and they run on that. And this is how you communicate with the technology, with the email addresses, with the response and all that stuff. Okay. So the voice over IP, as we discussed, this is also a good example using the Skype. So you can also see the video and audio. That's one of the best example also. So we have also seen the telephones of Cisco. Cisco is obviously a good vendor in the IT equipments. So we should also remember the name. And this is the Internet of Things, the Parker Reader. You just name the things and they'll be just in it, okay? In intranet, we have the private network that you access to the organization, and we use internet technologies to access those through a fully secured and you can say a fully authentic way. So you have to have a authorized VPN, virtual private network, and through that VPN you connect to your private network, obviously getting your username and passwords, and then you're able to enter to that intranet of your office network, and you can easily serve uploads and downloads documents. World Wide Web, obviously, Internet of Things we have discussed, internets we have discussed that, and this is actually a very quick task for a few of the people. If you have Outlook application, you can go to your advanced option, you can access to RSS feeds. So this is a small assignment for all you guys. So please do have interest in these activities. Remember, they're like maybe it's 2 minutes or something like that. They'll just take that little time from you. But the thing is that you will learn super a lot of the practical stuff. The knowledge behind these practices are like unimaginable, okay? You will just see the potential and just get deep into it. So it is one thing for sure. You have to look into that and you have to see that. So I think that's all for today. We'll be just having a quick Kahoot, you can say, quiz, and we'll be just having a quick participation in that quiz, so we can further proceed. Over to you, Mr. Rob.
Thank you so much, Nazar. Can we all give it up for Nazar, folks? If you don't mind, we love to celebrate ourselves here, folks. Let's just give him some love. A big thank you so much, sir. Excellent job. All right. As always, folks, we would like to just kind of do a quick count and give us a little bit perspective on, what we've done so far. And we can, brainstorm, find areas that you think are your strengths. Then we can make sure you always go back. Now, one thing I'll challenge everybody is, you know, um, I look at myself and I say, you know what? What are some things I would have done different when I started my career as, in IT? Um, and one thing I would challenge you and say is be adaptive, be open-minded, because it's an ever-evolving field. I can bet you if you leave tech for 6 months totally and you come back after 6 months, you'll be shocked at what has changed, right? It's just the reality because there's always something new. And one thing I'll also challenge you, attend conferences, online. There are a lot of them. Seminars, a lot of them. Um, Listen to podcasts, and I'll share a lot of this week on the WhatsApp group so that you can have an idea of what's going on. But make sure you're involved because it helps you to connect into that ecosystem of technology. It might be simple, like like what Nazar just shared, showing us Starlink. It's crazy. Think about it. Something that can function in the Sahara Desert where there's no fiber optics, and we can have the same impact like using like a fiber optics cable to
Like
connect.
maybe like maybe they haven't gone to the Sahara Desert, so I think we should have a real kind of demo for them and make one of our students a kind of like they can do the
Uh,
sacrifice for the rest of the class and they can see the potential of it. So there are a lot of potential, believe me.
I'm not sure I want
This
to be one of the volunteers to go to Sahara Desert, but if anybody wants to volunteer, maybe you can let us know. Okay. Um,
But do you know, the students will like expect maybe you and or myself to have kind of sacrifice. But you know,
to
if we do
volunteer.
that, like you won't have another trainer, such kind of trainers. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's one thing for sure. So let us be the training the trainers, and maybe you can decide one of you can just go and see how the world looks like. Believe me, these people that they have committed themselves. I'm like we have done a lot of workout for you people. These are the Ironmans, okay, and women's obviously.
Yeah.
They are super dedicated to things. You don't know the potential we are sharing. Believe me, you don't know. You don't know how hard work is behind the things we have put it on. And once you have gone to this thing, then you'll realize, oh my goodness, what we have missed and what I wish we have spent more time. We had spoken out and all the stuff. So this is actually the time that you can contribute. You can have your vision. You can have your dedication and all the stuff. So I would really thank you all to be like super dedicated and please do stick to the plan and you will have a great things happening in
Yeah.
in the future. That's for sure.
Thank you, Naz. And as always, folks, half of the battle is showing up. I'll keep drumming that because I'll tell you for a fact. You know, we all have similar story, believe it or not. When I got into tech fully, I think why I stuck with it was because I've just invested too much to look back. I was so close to just saying I'm done with this, man. But sometimes when you've put too much, you just realize you have no plan B. This must work. So, have the attitude, believe in yourself, and good things will come out of it. So the Kahoot pin is 409189, 409189. We have Team Cat, Team Found, and Team Raccoon. You can see the names of this team are changing all the time you know. Uh, so let's go. Some of the questions you might, don't worry, we'll still cover them later, but we just want to throw it out in front of you, start thinking around it, so don't stress it at all. The goal for us is just to make you start thinking, see some of those things from a different perspective and angle. And also during the week, I will reshare the same Kahoot so that we can play it anytime you want to play it during the week. Have fun with it. All right, we have 8 more minutes, but within that 8 minutes, let's see we can get a lot of us to just do this Kahoot real quick, have fun with it. Like always, we love feedback. We thrive with feedback. It helps us to build the program better, serve you better, and hopefully make an impact. We just want to be a footnote in your story. That's all. The greatness is in you already. Sometimes we just need someone to nudge it. That's all, and we are honored to be part of that story. All right, let's get started. I will start and feel free to just keep throwing it in. All right, let's see the first one. All right, we can tell it's week two. So thank you for surviving week two with us. Thank you. That's awesome. We appreciate that. All right, let's see this. An operating system is a program that facilitates interaction between people, hardware, and software. True or false? Let's see. Drum roll. Somebody say, well, I can't be too far off. It's either a true or false, or it's easy. 50-50 chance of guessing. So why not? Still guess. All right. True. I agree with that. Excellent job. Let's go to the next one. Team Cat is really doing a lot of cat stuff here. Lion. Okay, let's go. All right. The GUI, graphical user interface, primarily relies on text-based input from the keyboard. True or false? Is it mostly text-based from the keyboard? True or false? Remember, GUI is really what we see in the design, the graphics now. All right. So the answer is false. In the past, in the olden days, we used command line for many things, but now it's all of them are just good graphical interface. Device management include managing device drivers and determining hardware connection, true or false. Excellent. Excellent. Let's go to the next one. Access control, which is just ability to have access, slash protection involves preventing unauthorized access to sensitive information on a computer. So do we need a password? Do we need to have um, this privilege, meaning only people that have a need to have access should have access? Those are key elements in access control. Reviewing users' activities to make sure it's appropriate. And I know for those of us that are thinking of cyber, this will be a good one to think about. True. Excellent job. Excellent. Love it. All right. Team Fauna has taken over. You all are awesome. All right. Let's see. Team Raccoon, if you can. DNS, domain name system, associate domain name with unique IP address for easy access to network resources. I know NASA drummed this a lot. So let's go. True or false? Excellent. That is true. Symfony is still leading. HTML is a computer language used to display content through web browsers. All right, I hope we all get this one because all of us are always using our HTML. Right. Excellent job. All right, let's see. Team Found is holding forth, but Team Cat is doing mew just right behind you guys. Team Raccoon is just all in also. Let's see if you guys can pull an upset. A podcast is a text-based form of online content that typically features a conversational style. True or false? All right, false. The keyword was text-based. All right, all right. How are you feeling after week one? Mention one thing you could change so far, right? Just say one thing. I know just tell us one thing you could change so far. We've had some of your feedback earlier on, so that is amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We have 3 more minutes to go. Before we do that, one thing I would like us to do, please, very important, if you don't mind, is make sure if you're not on the WhatsApp group, make sure you join the group. This week, it's going to be a bit active. We'll send stuff. And check your emails also as much as you can. When you get an email from us, we'll send you guys relevant content as much as we can. So make sure, we do a lot of that because I think that will be very, very helpful. All right. And the other thing is, please, if you are not part of our YouTube page, if you've not liked it, please go ahead. I'm going to post it again. Go ahead and like it. One thing we do a lot is you might see us do live session within our community, especially with my other groups in cybersecurity. And feel free to join those meetings. They are very, very impactful because you get to see what we do. You get to see a lot of activities that would give you some exciting feel to know that you're not alone in this journey. You see other professionals preparing for interviews that we are talking with and getting them ready for interviews. And I think it's always a good thing in the long term. Then let me send the WhatsApp link again for those of us that don't have access to it. Please, if you don't have access to the WhatsApp group, let me send the link to you right now. Join immediately. Make sure you join that group right now. I just sent the WhatsApp group again and the YouTube page, just like it. Once again, thank you all. Remember, impossible is nothing. Hang in there. Go through all these documents again. If you don't have access to academy.skillweed.com, check your first email you got. You should have access. And again, thanks so much to you, Nazar. Amazing job. Thanks to everybody for coming. I wish you the best week ever. Go shine.
Thank you, everyone.
And
Thank you so
yeah,
much. Thank
thank
you,
you.
everyone. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time.
For the purpose of information, a lot of people, one thing I believe strongly personally is the power of the mind. If you're interested in joining, I have a book club that we like to share books every week. If you want to join that group, I also send the link to us here. It's a good book reading club. Every week we have a book we read. It will be short, straight to the point, but be part of it. I believe everything starts with the mind. So if the mind is right, everything else adjusts. So enjoy the week. Godspeed. Bye, everybody.